That's not an option. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Now not the time we for better we country. We for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Now not the time we for better we country. We for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Now not the time we for better we country. We for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
All we want for see. All we want for
Vote
see.
without violence.
Now not the time we for better we country. We for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
It's a blessed good morning to another edition of Breakfast with TDN. Breakfast with TDN is a news and current affairs program which comes up every Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. on our Facebook and YouTube Live. In the program this morning, we have 16 days to the general elections, which will happen on June 24th. And there has been a lot of campaigns in the provinces, in Freetown, wherein the political parties are trying to engage their party members and also non-party members in order for them to vote for their parties. But we will bring you some important elections story, and we've seen we are in the presidential candidate, the wives of the presidential candidate, the two main presidential candidates, President Julius Maada Bio and Dr. Samuel Wilson Kamara. They have actively engaging their party supporters and also non-party supporters in Sierra Leone. We'll bring you more of that as we move along with our program. And in our program this morning, we've seen we are in yesterday, Sierra Leone becomes a member of the UN Security Council, and also the ECSL boss, who is Mohamed Kone, debunks election rumors. And we've also seen we are in the PPRC, which is the Political Party Registration Commission, engages traditional rulers and paramount chiefs. All these and more we have for you in a program this morning. Let's go for a short break and we'll be back to continue with our program.
Now not the time we for better, we country, we for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see,
vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say,
vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say, all we want for
vote
sin.
without violence.
All we want for sin. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
Till the end they say, all we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
All we want for sin. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
Welcome back. This is the program Breakfast with TDN, and I am Franklin Williams. In case you want to be part of Breakfast with TDN, you can send in your comments in the comment section below, or you can send in your text messages on the number showing on your screen. We'll take our first story this morning, and we've seen yesterday Sierra Leone has been elected into the UN Security Council for 2024 to 2025, and this has been after 53 years of absence, and we now look into that story. And we've seen we are in Sierra Leone has successfully been elected as member of the United Nations Security Council for the 2024 to 25 after 53 years of existence. Sierra Leone was a member of the UN Security Council under the then Prime Minister, President Checker Stevens in the early 1970s. Reacting to the news, President Julius Maada Bio expressed his delight over the news. He says, "It is with profound honor and deep sense of fulfillment to convey the news that Sierra Leone, for the first time in 52 years, and for only the second time in our nation's history, has been elected as non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the term 2024 to 2025. The President added that Sierra Leone's membership is as a result of his government's commitment to transform the country's international reputation. Our presence on the United Nations Security Council represents our unique success as a democratic and peaceful country of resilience and unbounded optimism. He is reminisced on Sierra Leone's dark past with war in the 90s and the transition of peace and how that has helped the United Nations, the West African nation. Bio appreciated leaders in the African region for their unwavering and unconditional demonstration of solidarity. While tagging his country's success to that of the region, Sierra Leone was elected alongside Algeria, Guyana, Republic of Korea, and Slovenia for 2-year term, which will begin on the 1st January 2024. That was the president there, and also the report of wherein Sierra Leone has been elected as one of its members in the United Nations Security Council, and they will serve for a two-term, ranging from January 1st, 2024 to to the 2025, and that's welcome. That's so welcoming, and we are hoping for a successful participation in the United Nations Security Council, because we've seen Sierra Leone as we've seen the absence of Sierra Leone for 53 years now, and yesterday we've seen we are in the UN meeting which they had yesterday. Sierra Leone was elected as one of its United Nations Security Council members, together with Algeria, Guyana, Republic of Korea. And moving away from that, as we approach to the June 24th general election, we've seen we are in the head of the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, who is Mohamed Kone, has debunked election rumors that has been going around. But let's take the story of the ECSL boss. The Chief Electoral Commissioner, who is Mohamed Keniwia Kone, has debunked rumors surrounding the postponement of the June 24th elections. Kone, speaking to one of the media outlets, says he assured locals that the election will be coming at the appointed date of June 24th this year. Kone said they are currently working in line with the election calendar. He said the commission is applying the needed effort to ensure that the elections are credible and transparent. We are working assiduously to ensure we deliver as expected of the commission. Recently, rumors on social media said the elections will be postponed. Meanwhile, the main opposition party, which is the All People's Congress Party, have been critics of the modus operandi of the commission. They accuse the ECSL of being reluctant in releasing the aggravated voter register. The ECSL did release the voter register, but some supporters of the All People's Congress Party claim that it was incoherent. Sierra Leone will go to the polls in a multi-tier election on the 24th of June. APC's Samuel Kamara will face the incumbent SLPP's Julius Maada, an opponent he lost against twice in the 2018 presidential election by a narrow margin. And that was the ECSL boss. They are talking to one of the media outlets in Sierra Leone, saying that there has been rumors of possible postponement of the election, and he has debunked that particular rumor going around that the June 24th election will be postponed. And he said that they are currently working towards the election calendar put out by them. And he wants to assure Sierra Leoneans about the commission's support, and they are willing to commence the June 24th election as stated. And we've seen we are in the presidential candidates of the All People's Congress Party, who is Dr. Samuel Kamara, is going against the incumbent, who is Dr. Maada. And we saw in 2018, Dr. Samuel Kamara lost to President Bio in the runoff, as well as the first polls. And Dr. Samuel Kamara is open for a victory in this year's election as we move ahead as he moved ahead with the agenda being set out by his party. And we all know that in 2018, Dr. Samuel Kamal lost by a narrow margin. And they are actively campaigning the likes of the SLPP and also the APC party. And moving ahead with another story this morning, we see we are in the PPRC has engaged traditional rulers and paramount chiefs, and will now take on stories regarding to that particular report. The PPRC, with the Political Party Registration Commission, has engaged paramount chiefs and also traditional rulers from all the 16 districts in Sierra Leone ahead of the June 24th election. This partnership aims to secure the support of the traditional rulers and paramount chiefs in promoting tolerance and inclusivity for the 2023 general election, to ensure a competitive and peaceful electoral process. To achieve this, the PPRC has organized various engagements and meetings with representatives from political parties. Abdullahi M. Bangura, the commissioner of the PPRC, has affirmed that the ongoing campaign has been largely peaceful in Sierra Leone. While acknowledging that there is always room for improvement, he emphasized the Commission's commitment to guiding the process and addressing any challenges that may arise. That was the PPRC there assuring or trying to build a strong partnership with the traditional rulers and also paramount chiefs in Sierra Leone. And this happened on the 16 regions in the country wherein the PPRC had engagement with the traditional rulers and also paramount chiefs in the various districts in Sierra Leone. And as we got closer to the June 24th elections, we've seen wherein civil societies, focus group, and other bodies has been engaging traditional rulers, paramount chiefs, and also the indigenes in the particular districts in trying to explain to them about the electioneering process and also trying to guide them in terms of having solidarity leading towards the June 24th election, because we are hoping for oneness on that particular day. And after casting your vote, you go back to your various locations and you go to your media, because you will have every information you need regarding the June 24th election. We are coming to an interesting part of the breakfast show this morning, and we've seen wherein the wives of the presidential candidate, the two main presidential candidates, Dr. Julius Maada Bio and Dr. Samuel Kamara, they have been actively engaging Sierra Leoneans in the country in trying to persuade them to vote for their husband. And we would like to bring you this particular news regarding the wife of Dr. Samuel Kamara, which we'll bring you first, but immediately after the break, we'll bring you that. And we'll bring you also Dr. Fatima Bio, the First Lady, as well, campaigning to the people of Kono. And we'll bring you this important story immediately after the break. Let's go for a short break, and we'll be back for more interesting election stories and also other stories regarding the current event that has been happening in the country. We would like to take a short break, and we'll be back.
Now the time we for better, we country, we for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see, vote without violence. Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
All we want for sin. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
All we want for sin. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
Now not the time we for better we country. We for come together as a family. Live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say.
Vote without violence.
Vote in peace.
Vote without violence.
Till the end they say. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
All we want for sin. All we want for
Vote
sin.
without violence.
Till the end.
Welcome back. We continue with our program, The Breakfast Show. And before going for that short break, I introduced Dr. Samoa's wife, wherein she empowers market women on the voter education campaign. Dr. Samoa Kamara's wife engaged market women regarding the voter education campaign, which has been ongoing, and she engaged these women in the municipality of Freetown. In an effort to address the challenging economic situation and combat inflation, Mrs. Elizabeth Samoa Kamara, wife of presidential candidate Dr. Samoa Kamara, conducted a voter education campaign targeted at women in various markets across the municipality of Freetown. This initiative aims to discourage void votes and provide relief to struggling business owners upon electing her husband as president. Accompanying her, Mrs. Awaba, friends of Betty Kamara, Mariama Lowi Bangura, and other prominent women in the All People's Congress Party. Mrs. Kamara successfully delivered a message to the family markets, Lumley Market, Aberdeen Road Market, Moritown Market, Congo Tongue Market, and the Wilberforce Market. During the campaign, Mrs. Kamara expressed gratitude to the market women for their resilience amidst the country's economic crisis, which has led to soaring prices of essential commodities and adversely affected the business climate. She emphasized the importance of citizen participation in the democratic process and encouraged voters to elect Dr. Samoa Kamara, citing his relevant skills and expertise in managing the state. Mrs. Awasi Alba voiced concerns over the deteriorating market environment and high cost of goods, asserting that the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has no bearing on Sierra Leone's economic struggles. She urged all citizens to vote for Dr. Samoa Kamara to bring about positive change. President Mariama Lo Bangura commended the dedication of women in providing for their families and urged them to support Dr. Samoa Kamara to address the nation's challenges. The chairladies of the visited market expressed their appreciation for the voter education provided by Mrs. Samoa Kamara and other party stakeholders. They pledged their full participation and support for Dr. Samoa Kamara during the upcoming elections, highlighting the financial assistance received. Sierra Leoneans are set to go to the polls on June 24, 2023, to determine the country's economic management and Mrs. Samoa Kamara's efforts to empower market women with voter education are expected to have a significant impact on the electoral outcome. That was the wife of the presidential candidate of the All People's Congress Party, Mrs. Elizabeth Samoa Kamara. They are speaking to the market women at the Lumley, Aberdeen Road, and also the Wilberforce Market. And she encouraged the market women to vote in her husband as president in the June 24th elections. And she highlighted the deplorable condition of the markets, and also Mrs. Awaba, also who accompanied Dr. Elizabeth Samoa Kamara there, stated that the Ukraine crisis has no bearing regarding the economic struggles in Sierra Leone. And she encouraged the market women to vote in Dr. Samoa Kamara as the next president of Sierra Leone. And we've also seen wherein these wives has been actively campaigning for their husbands. And moving away from Dr. Samoa Kamara there, the wife of Dr. Samoa Kamara there, we now move on to President Julius Maada Bio, wherein his wife engaged the people of Kono, and she gives assurance to the people of Kono. The wife, who is the first lady, who is Madam Fatima Bio, was in Kono, and she assured the people of Kono of her husband's support. First Lady Fatima Bio has assured the people of Kono District in their campaign tour on Monday, 5th June 2023, that they are set to enjoy sustainable development when the vote and assure President Bio's second term in office. Speaking at the Koidu Community Field, she thanked the stakeholders and the people of Kono District for the love and support they have received over the past 5 years, adding that the love has translated into numerous developments in the district. She maintained that the party is fully charged with developmental activities for which the president is poised to deliver on key promises, as was done for the 2018 manifesto. And that was the first lady there talking to the people of Kono District. They are saying that her husband has delivered on all what he said in the 2018 manifesto, and she tried to encourage the people of Kono to vote in her husband again come June 24th. And it's really interesting having these two powerful women trying to secure Sierra Leoneans the votes for their husbands, and in order to do that, they are helping their husbands in terms of campaigning and also in terms of supporting them. And over the years, we've seen wherein these two women has played tremendous roles in the nation, and Sierra Leoneans has been commending them of their particular support, because Madam Elizabeth Samoa Kamara and also the First Lady, Madam Fatima Bio, has been instrumental, and also they have been a kind of motivation to young girls out there. And we have so many people that looked up to these two powerful women, and they are actively they're helping their husbands in their various campaigns. And as we move ahead with the June 24th elections, we've seen wherein journalists have collaborated with youth advocates to tackle information in the country. And we've seen wherein these journalists has engaged youths, advocates in terms of tackling information disorder that has been going on in Sierra Leone for quite a long time. And it's happened in a 2-day media literacy workshop held at the Bintumani Conference Center by SLAJ in partnership with IDEA, with support from the European Union youth advocates and journalists from 6 regions of Sierra Leone, pledged to collaborate with SLAJ and their partners to tackle information disorder, particularly in the upcoming elections. In the verge of supporting the aim of the workshop, which was promoting information integrity in the electoral process, the journalists and youth advocates promised to serve peace ambassadors during the upcoming elections, stating that they are determined henceforth to be spreading factual information and countering fake news about the upcoming election. They acknowledge their citizens' responsibilities to combat all sorts of hate messages, tribalism, and other problems that may disrupt the peaceful conduct of the electoral process in the nation. They promise to make good use of their voices to contribute positively on elections-related radio and television shows that will promote peace. Their commitments were welcomed by Ahmad Said Nasrallah, who is the president of SLAJ, and their partners who also agreed to collaborate with them. The SLAJ stated that they are excited to note their serial considered valuable, but the appeal is for them to be vigilant and courageous, to put in their words into action in the cause of getting information nationwide. And we've seen wherein SLAJ engage these youth advocates in terms of tackling information disorder, and they engage them in trying to talk to them about the practices they should engage themselves in, much especially we are heading to the June 24th elections, and the SLAJ is trying to do all what they can in trying to make sure that information reached out to the people in the distant village. And one way to go about this is by having engagement with various media journalists and trying to talk to them about elections reporting on how they should conduct themselves. And these trainings has been conducted for a year now in trying to prepare journalists and also trying to engage them on how they should manage information and how they should disseminate information to the various listeners out there. And moving away from that, we've seen wherein our reporter had an interview with the head of the Sierra Leone police region in the southern region there, and we would like to bring to you the particular report, and when we come in, we'll continue with our program. Let's have a watch of the interview which our reporter conducted with the southern region head of media operations of the Sierra Leone police. And let's have a watch of this particular interview, and I will be back.
TVN Africa Media, Mina Ibrahim Tiko, Madi reports now, as campaigns they don't continue at the country. I come to the regional headquarters Nabo for interview the head of media for the Sierra Leone Police South. You can better introduce yourself, sir.
Your family, Mina Sub-Inspector Andrew A. Monde, the Regional Police Media and Public Relations Officer for the Southern Region.
Okay. Mr. Monde, happy for get contact with you. election already don't dey near and campaigns they don't dey go on. I don't cover some campaigns around the SLPP, APC, PMDC. I dey see securities around. Wetin are the results we una don dey get? Wetin are the security updates we una get for we now as compared to the 2018 election?
Well, for start with, now we responsibility as a force, a primary force, for ensure that we police this election and every other elections in our country. We been on the do and we continue for do to set a pace and a landmark.
Okay,
so in that regard, this year we decide for put ourselves on the tools to ensure that we professionally police this election when they come. We don't police so many facets of these particular elections. We don't look at the primaries, their word of symbols. Now we don't reach to a point wherein campaigns then they carry on. Now we don't deploy personnel then on a daily basis based on the ECSL calendar. And with the emergence of this new thing where ECSL and PPRC come together, say we'll not forget any street rallies rather than town halls and strategic point meetings. I believe say the number of violence, the occurrences of violence will be done occur in the past, they don't really minimize with media engagements and sensitizations, peace loving people, and we don't go on with the process very well since the start of campaigns. People and really they abide. The entire southern region very relatively calm and quiet. Do not get any negative result, a negative report for reporter.
So when election can come, now they see youth violence can occur all the other parts of the laws because we dey talk about the south Nigeria, the province. Which modalities we don't put forget means of transportation? Sometimes police can say we not get means of transportation. I make where this issue occur and I will not able to reach there to time. What thing I don't put in place now for let una able get like vehicles, bike. So anytime we una agree say violence don't occur, they will able to reach there to time.
Well, I believe since the emergence of these particular elections and the activities, we never get any issue where you know able to go due to transportation. However, we get the vehicles that will be managed for ensure that we're able to respond to issues or to our own job duties as per the elections and any other policing activities. Well, in addition to the old vehicles who already been get already managed, quite recently, was it yesterday or yesterday or so, the Inspector General of Police and Police Headquarters don't ensure that they provide for some vehicles like the Bo West, Bo East, Pujeon, Moyamba, and Bonds. We don't get the regional attack, we don't get one to quite recently. Don't give you some ELOCs where they don't boost on the morale to ensure that we're able to adequately respond to situations. Now, any other side within we ambit. Yes, within the.
Okay, Mr. Monde, the population of Sierra Leone is too great than compared to the security sector, right? Because sometimes police they can also come with say the number too small, but as you say they don't recruit some police officers. Then I understand say some they did not in school. I'll let you confirm that to the people there.
Well, one thing we need to understand that not only Sierra Leone where the number of the public outweigh the number of the police.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone not an exception, but the government of Sierra Leone and the leadership of the Sierra Leone police force, they ensure that as how people they retire, some man they die, some man they sack and some man they travel, they left some gaps. So they decide to recruit some personnel. Quite early they recruit, they will get there now among we all the work, and we also get some quarantine and police training school where you go training.
We hope for let them able for use them the they didn't training school because I believe they not even take 4 or 5 months with them at the school because of election. You know, they talk about election now. I don't know if now any idea for say they get for use them police officers.
I'm not going to predict the minds of the executive management of the Sierra Leone police, but I'm quite sure say then we'll use them for augment, other personnel to ensure that we're able to police the elections.
Okay. You name a position again?
For me, Sub Inspector Andrew A. Monde, the police media officer in the Southern region.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
For TDN News, Mina Ibrahim T. Kuroma, the report Nabo, the southern part of Sierra Leone.
Welcome back. That was a reporter there having the particular interview with the head of media operations for the Sierra Leone police in the southern region. And in that interview, the head of the media operations said that they've recruited more police officers in trying to put themselves together and also trying to make sure that they are well prepared for the coming election. And we've seen wherein people's safety has been questioned regarding the particular elections, because we've seen wherein demonstrations has been happening and in the regional district, and we've seen there has not been enough security force to try to coil the situation down. But since we've just heard from the head of operations in the southern district of the Sierra Leone police, they are saying that they are ready, they've recruited more staff, and also they've had training on how to conduct themselves and also protect lives and property in these particular elections. And as we all know, police will be decentralized across the country on trying to safeguard lives, property, and also on how to engage or conduct themselves in electioneering process. And we've seen also over the years, it has been a cause for concern on how police conduct themselves and the like. But as we are fastly approaching this year's election, we have not been seeing too many demonstrations from people out there, and the police are trying so hard to try to engage citizens, and also in ensuring they engage these citizens, they are also trying to work with the ECSL, which is the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, and working hand in hand with them in trying to make sure the polling centers have security on that particular day, people conduct themselves well on that particular day, and also restrict vehicular activities in Sierra Leone for that particular day. But people have been questioning how they will vote, because if vehicular activities are being restricted, they cannot move from one location to another, because we have people who are residing in the western part of Freetown who registered in the eastern part of Freetown, and some people are working, and also we have people who are residing in the eastern part of Freetown who registered in the western part of Freetown. So on that day, I think they will have to see to these constraints of people. But we move along with the show, and we would like to bring you another interview which was conducted by our reporter, Sata. She interviewed a headmistress in one of the primary schools, and the headmistress tried to give advice to youth in order for them to be focused and not to engage in any violent activities, and also not to be used in the coming election. But let's have that particular interview, and I will be back.
they come to the schools, you know, Mama, I must say, they are able to our areas for the Baptist school, primary school.
Me I say that Kama Baptist primary school, Kamala.
Okay. Ma, within a crucial time now, we get campaign now, then we expect for this election, June 24. And there are some smart away politicians who mislead, they do their drugs and other activities for just to say the election will be peaceful. So as a mama to me, as a leader for the Baptist school, waiting I know advice to them to smart them.
Once more again, good morning. My own advice to the young one, then the youth, then in particular, I want to encourage them. Let them not mislead them. Let them allow nobody to let them mislead you. I want to let them know say the politician then now for let them actually achieve their own dreams than for let them vote them in. After when they don't vote them in, they don't dump them, then they forget what they said. You know, they even see self if they get out and then can support you today. But just because they want vote, they get out now and say, I will do this for now, I will do this, buy, drugs, salt abu, buy push, tramadol, begin give them. Then when they don't take them, they don't go, out of their sense, they can do anything where they for do, no more for letting the politicians and able for succeed within the paper. And I want to let them know say, Mama Salon, now one way Mama Salon, we won't get no other salon. Now one way salon we get, and let we not puella. We not the youth there, we not puella. We are with the big. Gone are the days where they do all kind of things. Now, at least you get 5 senses. You know what thing for do. You want for better. You want for achieve. But if you don't pull, you don't burn oath. You don't do all kind of things when are bad. How long we gonna come again for develop? That when they come back to square one. So I encourage you to do that. Let them not allow them for this violence. No one time again. Do that. Let them be careful. And I want to let them know say the politicians they begin there. Then they have good schools. Then they oversee. Then they live fine life. You na people picking because you don't get the opportunity but they will say the day. So you allow yourself for them misuse. If you allow yourself, then you don't get anybody for the blame. Maybe in them for go cause havoc. Sometimes nothing you like they come out. You like collect them because they will kill you there, they will damage you there. That person they not going to do anything much for you. Someday if you like come out, I want bad rest with 100,000. You don't forget what you see. Just because for letting go succeed. So I will encourage you. I will encourage you now. Do ya, not the good man you to woman, call not to only man. Woman said, you tell woman said, if you see who say bad book, would that they give intelligent information on a woman? So I encourage every youth, whoever you be, I encourage you. Let me stay from violence. Let me get peaceful election. After all, now God na give power. Whatever thing you do, you pull 110 lives. If you got no make that power there for you, don't get. So be content with what you get. Who said God put you there? Pray and hope that God improve your life. Just for being motive. And everybody for engagement, something serious, where you will bring benefits to you. If you don't go school, learn work. Or you go school or go on a farm. Anyhow you be, God will must get way for you and you will survive. But we are today. This election, we no one will run, we no one fet, we no want anything where it bring, we begin member, watching them pass back. We no go and learn. So I encourage every youth. Yeah, we are. I want for letting, we will stay input, stay cool, wait till it, go cast the vote, come at the ocean, can sit down, we listen to the results. We not go mad, let it get, let it move peacefully. I want to tell everybody.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Your name, Madam Sarah Kamara,
Baptist Primary
Zion. Thank you.
Baptist Primary School, Kamala.
Thank you very much. This is TDN Africa Media.
Plenty thanks to our reporter Saturday for bringing us that particular interview with Madam Sarah. who is the headmistress of the Baptist Primary School. And in that interview, she tried to advise the youths on how to conduct themselves and not to involve themselves in any violent activities or something that will implicate them coming in these particular elections. But there has been engagement of the particular activities in ensuring that we have a free, fair, and credible elections. And in order for us to have a free, fair, credible, and non-violent free elections, the youths has to play important role regarding in this particular election, because we've seen over the years the youths have been engaged in riotous conduct, and politicians are using these particular people to cause mayhem in the country. And over the years, there has been reports of riotous conduct and people arrested for violent activities leading to elections, and we've seen that has been on the low in this particular elections. And the youths, if I could say, are now focused, and they know how to conduct themselves. Now they do not listen to the ill promises of these politicians, and the awareness is there, and they know what they want, and that has been evident on how they conduct themselves. Because you cannot be used by these politicians. They normally come around when they need you, and they need you now, and they want you to vote for them. Immediately you vote for them, they will be gone. Just be careful on how you treat them, and when they come to your area to campaign, you ask them relevant questions, and do not take anything from them in trying to solicit money from them, and in return saying, okay, you have my support, I'll vote for you and all. Just try to vote with your conscience, and it will make Sierra Leone a better place, because we are all open for a country to be compared to the likes of other nations, in other great nations in Africa and the world. And one way is to move in that trajectory is us Sierra Leoneans being sincere to ourselves and having the right mind for the right cause, and do what we are so passionate about in trying to create a change. The change should start from us. And as we move to the June 24th elections, and we are just counting, can I say days now to the June 24th elections, because after next week, we will be going to the polls, because we barely have, we have 16 days, so it's 2 weeks and 2 days remaining. So week after next, on a Saturday, Sierra Leone will be going to the polls. And we are seeing people are anticipating for these general elections, and they are all geared to cast their votes. And one way to do that is by securing your voter registration card. And on that day, it will be interesting, and as Sierra Leoneans will be gathered in their various locations trying to cast their vote. And TDN will be live in the streets of Freetown, trying to talk to Sierra Leoneans, and also we'll be live in some polling stations in the country and trying to cover the electioneering process. It will start at exactly 7 o'clock and ends at 5. And we'll be live in the streets of Freetown trying to bring you reports of the activities that has been going on. And we have our reporters in the various regions in the country, and they will be bringing you reports as things are unfolding. And on that day, we will have our election program on that day. And our reporters will be live outside in trying to get information and also trying to do interview people about how they're feeling. We'll be going to their different locations immediately after casting their votes, and also we'll be going to the major polling centers in the capital, and our reporters outside the capital will also bring you reports on how the electioneering process will be going on. And on that day, it will be intense, and people will be willing to cast their votes, and people will be willing to exercise their franchise, and which is very key. And as we all know, if you registered to a particular location, you will be able to vote in that location for the president, the mayor. But if you did not register outside the city of Freetown, you will not be fortunate to vote for the two major candidates in terms of the mayor. You will not be fortunate to vote for Mayor Akisoya or Gento in the capital of Freetown, because you did not register in that particular location. And you can be in the capital, but not all areas in the capital are considered as Freetown, because we have major areas that are considered as the peninsula, and other people are controlling that particular side of the peninsula. And the likes of Mount Oriel at Swabikole, it's the outskirts of Freetown, because they are regarded as the peninsula. And people that registered at around Leicester and the Mount Oriel and tree planting, they will not be fortunate to vote for the mayor of Freetown, because they are not part of Freetown. And this has been question people have been asking. But we are in the capital of Freetown, and yes, you're in the capital, but that particular side is not considered as Freetown, because we have demarcations of where Freetown ends and where Freetown starts. And you will be only fortunate to vote for other mayoral candidates in that particular area you are residing, because the Freetown Peninsula does not cover the particular, is not the heart of or the center of the capital. And only people that registered within the capital will be fortunate to vote. And that was just a little edification there for our viewers out there on how the elections has been set out and also planned. And moving away from that, we'll bring you reports and stories of major events in Sierra Leone after 53 years of absence has now been elected in the UN Security Council, and that has been welcoming. And also we've looked at the ECSL boss, wherein he has debunked rumors going around that the election will be postponed. And also we've had the PPRC has engaged traditional rulers and also paramount chiefs in all the 16 districts in the country. And we've also brought to your notice the wives of the two main presidential candidates, engaging party supporters and engaging market women in trying to ensure that they vote for their husband in the June 24th elections. And we've also bring you an interview regarding the Sierra Leone police, the head of media operations in the Sierra Leone police in the southern region. They are talking to a reporter on their preparedness in the coming elections. And we've also bring you a 2 days training that was organized by the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists in trying to advocate or trying to lecture youths there in election on information disorder as we are heading to the particular election, the June 24th election. The SLAG has been trying very hard in trying to educate their journalists on free, fair, and credible elections reporting, because as a journalist you should be unbiased in trying to report. And if you report on this particular side, and you also have to report on the other side, and that will make you free from bias, and also you will have to bring in credible information or stories to the viewers out there. And this is how we end our show this morning. It has been an interesting morning so far, and coming up we have the elections, we have the Salon Talk program coming to you, and also we have current event programs and election programs trooping after the Salon Talk program. I've been your presenter. I am FRANKLYN Williams. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.
Now not the time we for better, we country, we for come together as a family, live in peace and harmony. So during this election, that's not an option. During this election, we don't want no tribal division. All we want for see, vote without violence. Vote in peace. Vote without violence. Till the end they say, vote without violence. Vote in peace. Vote without violence. Till the end they say, all we want for see. Vote without violence. All we want for see, all we want for see. Vote without violence. Till the end they say, all we want for see. All we want for see, all we want for see.